Great to be back in Russia again. I have been many times to this wonderful country, across your 11 and a half time zones. I don't know any other nation in the world that has so many travel complexities just from the issue of the clock. It's wonderful to be here. I want to share with you some thoughts about the future. I'm often described as a futurist. I work with companies like Google or Microsoft or BP, helping them to understand what tomorrow might be. And I want us to think some fresh thoughts about our industry of travel. And I'm speaking personally as a business traveler about some of the things which I see in your industry. And I've enjoyed meeting some of you, hotels, airlines, travel agents, managers of business travel. And I want to ask us to think differently, because today is about innovation. Okay, so what does it mean to be a business traveler in the future? How is this industry going to change? The first thing I want to say is this. Every trend is related to every other trend in our whole world. It is impossible to think about business travel without thinking about, of course, the global economy, what's happening in your competitors, what's happening politically, what's happening in terms of the digital world. And so I want to bring all of these themes together. And my first thought is this. As we look at our rapidly changing environment, it is clear to me that most business strategies are being swept away by events. The world is changing faster than most people can think, certainly faster than you can call a meeting of your board. And if it happens for the board, it's even faster for the actual traveler. When you think about what goes on or goes wrong when we travel, all kinds of things happen, and it doesn't matter whether it's a rainstorm or a volcano in Iceland, which means that over 1,000 flights every day are cancelled within 1 hour's notice. You suddenly have 50 of your most senior leaders who are trapped in the wrong part of the world. We have instant crises, which you, of course, as business managers have to sort out. And there's nothing worse than seeing every flight out of a destination cancelled. And then, of course, you can have other situations happening. We can have, in 20 seconds, our world changed because of an earthquake in Japan, which not only paralyzed industry, but caused worries about nuclear meltdown. That, in turn, created tension around the world. That changed energy policy in countries like Germany. And the impact of that 20-second event will be felt in Russia for 30 years. Because it changes how we think about nuclear power, about global energy markets, about connecting our world together. So, what does it mean when we think about, let's say, the global economy? Well, here I have some good news. Well, if you watch too much CNN, it will make you feel sick, okay? It's true. News is usually bad. But let me tell you the truth. When you look at the global economy from 1980 right through to 2010, of course, we had a crisis. But look, we're coming back. If we look at the US from 1980 right through to 2010, yes, but coming back. This is important for business travel. Look at the European Union. We might think that the European Union is such a complete disaster, but look, coming back. We think of countries like Vietnam, where the income level is half that of China. A rapidly growing economy from 1985 right through now to 2012. Can you see a crisis? Yes, there has been a crisis in Vietnam. Yes, we had inflation spike at 24%. Yes, all kinds of things have happened, but the fact is the economy has continued to grow. So Intel has just built a $1 billion factory in Vietnam. That requires people to travel. So my message is this, that while there are messages of terrible gloom and despair in the media, the fact is companies have to travel, globalization is accelerating, economies of scale demand efficiency, yes, but they also demand meeting. And you will continue to see business travel grow more or less every single year for the next 20 years. Powered mainly globally by what is happening in emerging markets, because their businesses have only just started. Now it's true, mature businesses in Europe that are already traveled out, they are over-traveled. You're not going to see massive boom there, but you will see increasing travel into the European Union from big Asian giants which are looking to transform our world. So exciting times, and we look at Russia, likewise, 1998, 1999, right through, yes, okay, we flipped a little in 2009, but we're back. So altogether, a different picture perhaps than the one we read about, and a picture, as I say, which will be dominated in the future by Asia, which alone will represent over 40% of the entire global economy on purchasing power parity terms within the next 3 years. We are in an exciting time of change. Russia is in the middle of this exciting story, and when we look at what's happening on your border with China, look at this. China travel bookings are now worth $100 billion every year, and of that, 15 billion was booked online last year. So we are seeing huge growth, huge changes in how people are thinking about travel, how they are organizing travel, and I think that every single one of these impacts will affect you in Russia. For me, the only debate is this: timing and to what extent. And I look forward to a discussion about that. Now, I want to ask you this. What is travel really about? I want to suggest to you that business travel is dominated by one word. And it isn't actually economics. It's not even profitability or saving money. It's actually something quite different. And that business travel is being driven to a large degree by exactly the same word that is driving every other kind of desire to travel. This incredible hunger for something. What is it? This single word is the word that is influencing all of human history. It will decide whether Greece stays in the euro or not. It determines the result of every election in every country. And this single word changes the decisions that you make every day. This single word, of course, is emotion. It's the passions that we feel. It's the desire we have to breathe the same air. It's why I came over this morning and I shook hands with every single person on the front row. Why did I do that? Because I was celebrating a fact. I'm celebrating the fact that I'm here. I'm breathing the same air, and I'm not in London. And not only here, but I'm here physically, not virtually. You see, I had a huge video conference suite in my house. I'll talk to you about that in a moment. But actually, at the end of the day, I want the emotional connection. When I'm going to do a big business deal, I don't do it on price alone. I do it on trust. I look in your eye. I say, this is someone I want to do business with. This deal will work. I feel really good inside, deeply about this deal. I would stake my reputation on it. This kind of thing requires, usually, for physical human beings to be physically together. Now, emotion is about the experience of travel. It's about enjoying where we are. It's about understanding culture, context. It's more than customer excellence or ticking a box. It's about the experience. It's about what it feels. Let's come back to video conferencing. 20% growth per year, huge market. Very important, but it will not be enough to kill business travel. Okay? It's just we're going to meet more. Put your hands up if you've used video recently in the last year, if you've done a serious video call for business. Put your hands up. Okay, keep your hands up if you really enjoyed it and are looking forward to doing it again soon. 2. Most people, put your hands up if actually the truth is you would prefer to do it on the phone. You see, it's interesting, isn't it? So you can have the best technology in the world, but unless it connects with passion and emotion, it will not be used. Now, I'm saying video is important. We need to make it work, and we need to make it work by having good quality, bandwidth, making it personal by putting the video camera on the PC, and making sure we can do video wherever we are. Last night, in the hotel, I made a Skype call to my wife for at least 1 hour. It cost me nothing. I like it. Sometimes I'll just leave the video running, even if I'm not in the room. Why not? You just connect two worlds together. Oh, you're still there. Sheila is working in one office, I'm working in the other, but we're still somehow connected. Because that's how we work. We work in the same office together. We are husband and wife together with our 4 children. We share life together. And when you have the video running all the time, then somehow we begin to share experience. So I think we have a lot to learn about video. But I would say this, that the travel is about emotion. It's about the connection. Now, the other issue I want to share with you is this, that when we think about what we use at home, most of us have better technology and better support IT-wise and travel-wise than we ever get at work. And that gap has to close because expectations are changing. Let me give you an example. In my personal life, if I book an air ticket or a hotel, straight away in my calendar, it is inserted. It's inserted by an app called TripIt. It's completely free. When I began to travel here, 24 hours before, TripIt said, "Hello, Patrick. Just a reminder, your Russian flight to St. Petersburg is open for booking, and here's the link." 1 hour before, it said, "Just to confirm, your flight is on time." 30 minutes before, "Just to confirm, your flight is now delayed 10 minutes and is leaving from gate X." If the flight is cancelled, it says, I learned from TripIt 25 minutes before the airline tells me, okay? TripIt tells me, just to let you know, the flight has been cancelled. This is an alternative flight which has seats available. We recommend. Press here to book. Wow. So what happens is 25 minutes before the rush of 500 other passengers to the only other 10 seats on another airline, I've already booked my seat. As soon as I land, I know my taxi is waiting for me. I feel like there's a human being. It's a bit like my wife is on the phone just saying, "Hey, by the way, the taxi's ready for you." I just feel I'm being guided, I'm being helped all the time. And that kind of expectation is becoming normal because it costs nothing for people at home. But when they go to work, nothing. When the flight is broken, nothing. When the taxi isn't there, nothing. And this gap has to close, okay? And business and leisure anyway are becoming the same thing. 1 in 3 business travelers will take leisure time when they travel. And in fact, those of us who are visiting this wonderful city have been planning all the things we're going to do tomorrow. So I want to talk now about what happens in the experience of an individual who's trying to book a flight, and it may be a business traveler or not. The first thing to note is that the world of that individual is changing. And I'm going to show you some statistics, and you're going to say, yeah, but it's not Russia yet. Don't believe it. What I'm going to show you now is absolutely inevitably going to become your experience too, and the reason is simple. The cost of technology is falling to zero. In my country already, 1 in 3 people don't watch TV anymore. They only watch TV online because they're online all the time. They decide what they want to watch and when they want to watch it. In the European Union, 95% of all web bandwidth will soon be video streaming. Video is becoming very, very important in the travel industry. It's all about saving time and communicating quickly. And the web is making us very impatient. The ticking of the clock has changed in our own brain. Let me give you an example. 70% of people in Russia are online. 99% own a mobile. Soon most of those will be online as well. And here is a question. I want you to imagine that tonight you are watching your favorite TV program using an iPad like that. And you are looking for a story about the life of one of the actors, okay? So watching TV, you're looking at your email, you're on the phone, but you're also going for a web page. So you type the name of the actor into the iPad, into Google. You then press the link to open the page, and you wait. How long will you wait before you press the back button? Put your hands up if you will wait less than 5 seconds. Less than 5 seconds. 5 seconds, it's broken. You press the back button, go somewhere else. Put your hands up if it's less than 5 seconds for you. Okay? Put your hands up if actually you've already gone in 2 seconds. Now what I want you to understand is this. 10 seconds is now like a million years, okay? You've told me that. You've told me that at least half of all of your market disappears in 10 seconds. 10 seconds. 10 seconds to answer the phone. 10 seconds to answer the phone. Wow. 10 seconds for a payment to go through. 10 seconds to make the booking. 10 seconds to wait for someone to phone me back now. 10 seconds. See, Russian online travel is growing 20% per year. This is already 93 billion sales, and we are just at the very beginning. And I promise you this, if you remember nothing else, think about 10 seconds. Because next year, it will be 5. And the year after, 2.5. In fact, in St. Petersburg, we saw 80% of people press the back button. We asked yesterday. 80% said they would press the back button in less than 2.5 seconds. It's a fast world. So the old ways of doing things are finished. You will be out of business. And if you are looking to satisfy your own internal customers as a manager of business travel, they will just leave your organization. So here's an example. Where can I stay? So you do some work online. After 20 minutes, you fill in a form. You then press the button expecting a price and a booking. And it says, an agent will call you soon. How long do you think I will wait for an agent in Moscow to call me back? 10 seconds? Not at all. 10 hours? You know what will happen in 10 minutes? It's too late. Why is it too late? Because I booked the other hotel online. So this is serious stuff, folks. It means a complete change in how we manage the customer relationship. And by the way, what can you see online? So the customer's calling you, but I promise you, most call centers are blind. They see nothing except the script they're supposed to talk to the customer about. So I say, I'm seeing on your own website 20% different price than that. I say, well, I'm sorry, I can't help you. I can't see that price. Or, well, I have got 18 of your competitors' websites open right now because I have my portable, my iPad, my iPhone, my BlackBerry. I'm on watching TV. I'm texting my friends. I'm on Twitter. And all of this information is coming. And I'm talking to you. And all you can see is the script you have to read. So again, we need to think about connecting our call centers up. You see, we're in competition now with machines, with one robot which will collect all the prices of the whole of Russia's hotels and deliver them all with one mouse click in less than 5 seconds, compared to someone who otherwise has to hunt through your own website or someone else's. So it's changing very quickly. Here is a website attached to TripAdvisor called Tingo. Tingo guarantees I will always have the lowest price hotel room. If I book a hotel in Moscow tonight to stay next year, if the price of that room ever falls below the price I have paid, even for 1 hour on one website, I automatically get money back in my wallet. It's a promise. Happens at the speed of light. So how do we manage team travel? Well, it's difficult because, of course, there's so much pressure on budget, and there's lots of ways to save money. Some are very popular and some not so popular. Especially when you travel on airlines, it's a little worrying. But talking of budget airlines, they are changing, of course, the whole of the travel industry and the incentives that you would normally expect to get from booking air travel from other big airlines. So the old structures, business models are dead. We just need to think about changing fast enough to catch up. Just think of this airline. Lion Air is new in Indonesia. No one has ever heard of it. Perhaps in Russia. But 2 weeks ago, they ordered 234 new airplanes. They are just one budget airline. They are transforming the whole world. And, airlines like British Airways are struggling. They're struggling to know how to create something different for the business traveler. And I traveled here on this particular flight. This is us boarding on the plane. Even basic things like I just needed to work on the presentation. I was brought a business breakfast. Business breakfast means you have an empty tray. You know why? Because they want to fill it 5 times. So they brought me the empty tray with just a little piece of yogurt. Then they brought me some rolls. This is 5 minutes later. And then 5 minutes later, they brought me some jams. Would you like some jams? All the jams were the same, but would you like some? Then they said, you've had some rolls. Would you like some croissant? I said, no, I just want a cooked breakfast. Actually, it's very early in the morning. I just want strong coffee, cook breakfast, and take the tray as fast as you can, okay? So it's easy to think that you're creating something wonderful and miss what the real experience should be about. And here's another challenge. You see, I travel a lot on long-haul flights, but the airline needs to know how I am feeling at the moment. If I'm traveling out, I'm feeling nervous. Am I going to sleep? No. Do I want to sleep? No. Do I want champagne? No. I just want to work. I want power in my seat. I need web access in my seat. I just need to work like crazy. I need food on a separate tray, which means I can carry on working and there's room to eat at the same time. But when I'm coming home, I'm destroyed, exhausted. Do I want a big meal? No. What do I want? 2 bottles of water when I walk on the plane and a flat bed. Beautiful flat bed, a cabin that is completely dark and very quiet. And if I wake up and I'm hungry, I want some instant food that I can get from the chef in the galley. A completely different experience. So on the same flight, we have someone who's very nervous, wanting to work like crazy, sitting next to someone who's exhausted and needing to sleep. And the best airlines, they understand in what direction I'm going. The best airline will see that I only flew to New York for 12 hours. So my body is still on UK time. So don't look at the UK watch, at the New York watch, as I get on the plane to decide how I'm feeling. Look at my London watch to decide how I'm feeling. And treat my body clock correctly. So it's a very different way of thinking. Wi-Fi on planes is going to be absolutely essential. It's one of the reasons why long-haul train is so popular now. Because in many countries you have continuous Wi-Fi, and even if it takes 2 hours longer, you can work all the time. So there's no wasted time, no immigration, no customs, no security, no hassle. What about hotels? What do we say about hotels? Well, I would say the experience again needs to change. What did we say? How long is a long time? 10 seconds. How long does it take to check into your hotel? Huh? Imagine there is no queue at all. I go straight to the front desk and I say, hello, how long does it take me to get the key? 5 minutes. My goodness. Experience the atmosphere. Actually, you know, shall I tell you what is the one thing I need? I've been traveling for 14 hours. I was 3 hours in the traffic getting from the airport. I've walked into the hotel. I'm already fantasizing about my room. There is only one thought I have in my mind. Do you know what it is? No. Even more urgent than that. There is about to be a terrible biological accident. I need a toilet very quickly. And all I'm thinking to myself is, do I go now? In which case I take all my luggage with me? Or do I leave it with the porter and then come back? Or do I hope that he'll do it in 30 seconds? Because if he does it in 10 minutes, I'm in trouble. Now, although you are laughing, I went into one of the best hotels in the world. I was so pleased. There was no queue. I went straight to the desk. And they said, "Oh, Dr. Dixon." They knew I was coming. They sent the car. The car radioed ahead. "Dr. Dixon is coming." It's a VIP hotel. Every person is treated like a VIP. Wonderful. So I arrive at the desk and they say, "Dr. Dixon, please come this way." I said, no. I didn't say this to them. I was too embarrassed. I really just wanted a toilet. They said, "No, please come this way." They sat me in a beautiful leather chair. They gave me a glass of champagne. I don't want a glass of champagne. Last night, I went to my room. This is honest truth. I went to my room. I discovered something. I'd lost a cufflink. So now I have no shirt I can wear. So I bring out an old shirt, which I was going to wear on the plane tomorrow. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, it's creased. So the next thing I do is I go to find what am I looking for now? The most important piece of equipment in any hotel room is the iron. Thank you. So because it's such an amazing, expensive hotel, what is the one piece of equipment that you will never find? Iron. Yeah. So what do you do when there's no iron and you're in trouble? It's midnight. How do I get my shirt ironed? I'm tired. I need to go to sleep, or I want to wake up at 8. Do I want someone to come and collect the shirt? No. Why? Because it will stop me going to bed and will wake me up. So what did I do to solve my problem? Can anybody tell me? You have all done it, I know. What do you do when you've got a problem? Yes, what do you do in the shower? You made steam. Okay, I'm going to embarrass you now. Do you have to do this naked or with your clothes on? I know what happens, because you're struggling to think, I just turn this on. You think, if I turn this on, I'm going to get wet. So now you have to strip yourself naked. You then have to take your clothes and you wiggle. I stood on the side of the bath last night. I'm wiggling like this, my clothes over the shower. One of our colleagues here said to me, "You have no idea how many shirts I have lost into the shower." He said, "They fall off, they're in the water." Actually, it's happened to me too. I've lost trousers into the shower. One of our colleagues, one of the members of our panel, he said, "I have another story for you." This is quite true from last night. I think this happened at 1:30 in the morning or something. 1:30 in the morning. Goes to the room. No iron. I have my own iron. So he gets out his small iron. He plugs it into the power socket and suddenly, boom! The whole room goes dark and fills with smoke. So now he thinks there's a fire in his room. He phones down and says, there's a fire in my room. All the lights have gone out. So they come up. The man turns the lights on. He says, yes, but what were you doing in your room? He said, I was trying to iron a shirt. He said, yes, but that's for computers, that plug. It's not for irons. The room smelled so bad they had to put him in a new room last night. So I'm just saying, little things really matter. The things that really don't matter. The marble in the shower, no, forget it. The huge bath, it was nice if my wife was here, but she's not. So we just need to understand how customers actually feel. And by the way, let's go back to the call center thing. Put your hands up if you get really annoyed when you get through to, let's say, the electricity company, and they have stolen your money 3 times this month, okay? And you get through to the electricity company, and it says, press 1 for accounts. Press 2 for more accounts. Press 3 for sales. Press 4 if you have no idea what to press. Put your hands up if you find that makes you really angry. Put your hands up if you think that people who install such systems should be put in prison and sent to Siberia. So we okay, no. I'm sorry to say this. You know what's coming next. Put your hands up if your company has such a system. Come on! I know you all do. What happened? What happened was you forgot what it feels like to be a customer. We spent too much time feeling what it's like to be a manager. I'm just saying, let's take off the glasses of being a manager, remember what the glasses are like to be a customer, and try to imagine how it feels. Because now we've learned that the fastest way to make your customer annoyed is to make them wait for more than 5 seconds for anything, especially pressing buttons. And we've learned the easy way to make them happy. Give them a simple thing like a small iron in the room. And an instant check-in with a room key that works on an iPhone. A fast, free Wi-Fi in the room of the hotel. Oh, it's so annoying when you go into the hotel and you realize you need a password. You forgot to ask the reception for the password. So now you have to go all the way down because they're not answering the phone. And then you type it in, and then you realize you need to pay $4,322 for 5 minutes. So these are simple things. They cost virtually nothing. We can change the whole experience. Now, this is another thing. This is a crazy thing. Look, this is a business desk. Look at it. I spend my entire life removing rubbish from the desks of hotels. The desks of hotels are always full of rubbish. I can never work. I don't know why everybody fills them with rubbish. Let's put them somewhere else. Small things. Let's just understand what it's like. Okay, so, and it's all about, would this person recommend you to a friend? Because if you get it right, then your news will travel fast. 80% of under 35-year-olds in the US use social media while traveling. 80% already. 1 in 3 of all people in the world who are traveling now use channels like Facebook and other things like that to make comments. We're talking about a world where people make comments all the time. Imagine you type in the name of a hotel in London. You see on Google, most beautiful hotel in the world. 1 comment. Next comment, terrible hotel. Rats, food poisoning. Do not go, you will die. And on the third side, you have an advert, which is the official marketing department. It's you. You made it. You wrote it. Now, which do you think your colleagues will go for? Do you think they will go, do you think your customers will go mainly for the story about the good news story, or do you think they will go for the rats or for the official website? Actually, I'm going to ask you. You are the travelers now. It's your hotel you're going to see in London. Which do you click on first? Put your hands up if you always click first on the beautiful hotel room. Put your hands up if you always go for the rats. Put your hands up if you don't believe any of them, and you go straight for the official marketing department. Now, of course, that's a very good idea. Why? Because who wrote the story about the good hotel? The hotel, of course, yes. And who wrote the story about the rats? The competitor. Yes, of course. Now, you knew this. You knew this. But still, 95% of everyone in every audience I talk to, they always go for the rats. Why? Because the future is not about science. It's not about truth. It's about emotion. It's how people feel. And people feel very strongly about rats. And I promise you this, they will believe more a perfect stranger who writes about rats than they will believe your own website. And the more money you spend promoting your hotel in the press and the media of Russia, the more people will type the name of the hotel into Google, the more they will read about rats, and the more you will destroy the brand. So we need to get that story right, and when we do, amazing things will happen. So in conclusion, it's about knowing your customer, it's about knowing where they are, it's knowing about how they think, it's knowing about what they're feeling, it's knowing about where they've been. It's about knowing that they're walking very close to a dispensing machine for Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola can see me, it sees my mobile phone, it sends me an SMS. It says, your Coca-Cola, your customized Coca-Cola drink, which is made specially for you for your unique taste, is ready for you 50 meters to the left. As you walk, the bottle falls out, you collect the bottle sees the phone makes the charge, and the transaction is complete. This is already history. You tell me the future. The future is a world where you know some of this information, where you are able to respond, where you are able to guide, where you are able to look over my shoulder, where you can capture all of this amazing big data and make sense of it to sell new things to the customer that you know I will really love. So life is short. Life's too short to do things you don't believe in. Life's too short to waste people's time. It's all about giving people life back, about making life pleasurable, about helping people to work efficiently. It's about working faster, flexibly. It's about being agile. It's about different ways of thinking about managing risk. It's about being able to sort problems out for people very quickly. It's about keeping people safe, on time, and building trust. And of course, if you are managing the business, if you have a fixed budget, and you are in trouble managing that, because it's tough, we need to control costs, we need proper compliance, we need excellent reports, we need to get those economies of scale. We need to negotiate those very best deals with the airlines while still giving our customers choice, our own internal customers, sufficient choice and flexibility. And above all, we owe our staff a duty of care to look after them in tough places where they may be worried to just get into any taxi about whether they will be abducted or whether they will arrive. So in conclusion, technology can do amazing things, but let's not get lost in the techno story. Let's keep focused on the customer and how they're feeling. And I would say this, I think this is too complicated to do on our own. What we're talking about is new partnerships, it's new ways of working, it's collaboration, it's team. It's about marketing directors working with people who are bulk buying and managing business travel, working with some of the best IT people in the world, working with some of the best social media people in the world, working with people who really understand how these businesses need to work, the pressures that you're under, the operational constraints that you have to deliver under, and to deliver above all something that really makes sense for the individual that you're seeking to serve. And I could not care less if that individual is a passenger on your airline or whether it's an individual customer who happens to be the CEO of your own organization. It's all about the same thing, making life better together. Thank you very much.